It's not year 3. Say hi, year 4.
Hi, year 4.
This is the next chapter of your story. So, this is the next chapter of your story. Happy Wednesday, year 4. I don't know how well we're going to do with this crazy little beast here. Right, let's make a quick start. Chapter 3. You can't come in, it's rest time, said the nurse at Brompton Hospital the next morning. Visiting hours start at 2. I looked at my watch. 4 hours to go. It'd taken a fair bit of daring to get here when I should have been in class at St Kilda's doing a spelling test. You're going to be in trouble in a minute, Beatrice. Dad wished me luck for it as he was leaving for work. I wasn't looking forward to lying to him later when he'd asked me how it went. I have to speak to Mr. Ezra Wilkinson, I said again. He's my granddad. The nurse folded her arms. He didn't teach you... Oh, Beatrice. Any manners, did he? People from round our way weren't full of airs and graces, it was true. But I could see I was going to have to try harder. Please, it's very urgent. So urgent it can't wait until this afternoon? She asked. To be truthful, we're free of Beatrice. To be truthful, I didn't want to come back here again. The hospital smelled horrible, of carbolic mixed with old vegetables. It made me feel ill. Which was odd for a place meant to make people feel better. Please, I begged, I'll be quick. Over her shoulder I glimpsed rows of snowy white beds. Knowing Grandad was in one of them just feet away was infuriating. It crossed my mind to dodge past the nurse. Then I caught her taking in my St Kilda's blazer, horrid bright red that showed at the rest of my coat, and the ugly felt hat on my head and my satchel strapped across me, all of which bore the school crest. I might as well have worn a sign around my neck. Shouldn't you be in school? The nurse asked. Perhaps I should give them a telephone call. I'm going, don't worry, I muttered, and I hurried back down the stairs. Out in the street, I kicked myself. I should have known there'd be visiting hours at the hospital. Not only that, skipping school was risky. There was always someone somewhere waiting to peach on you. In adventure stories, the heroes have a bunch of like-minded pals on hand to help. It was different trying to be brave by yourself. Most of my old friends had been boys. Neddy, Joe, Brian and Bobby Fitzpatrick. When they went at school, we'd play crab-apple cricket or bulldog in the street. Then I'd got the scholarship to St Kilda's. Can you smell brains? Bobby asked the others on the first day of term, when they'd gone down the street to their new school and I'd gone up it to mine. They didn't speak to me after that. The girls at St Kilda's were even harder to be pally with. Some days, when no one was looking, I'd be a bit upset. And I felt bad for that too, because it wasn't like I had something proper to be sad about, like Dad or a brother dead in war. At some point I realised I was lost. This was a part of South London I'd never been to before. The road was busy with shoppers and nannies pushing babies in prams, weaving in amongst traffic. The newspaper boys shouted the day's headlines about King George, our new Prime Minister, Mr Bonar Law, and Ireland now a country of its own. And, my ears pricked, Egypt. Courageous Howard Carter, just days from finding missing boy king. Experts convinced he'll discover a tomb full of gold. I hugged the satchel tight against my hip. Inside it, in a box, was another piece of gold. A jar so unsettling that last night I had to hide it. Even in broad daylight, I'd not completely shaken off that feeling of dread. It didn't help that I knew next to nothing about this extraordinary find. Enough misery-mongering. It was hours till visiting hour started, and I was on the wrong side of London to go to school. With time to kill, I decided to do some digging of my own. On the bus ride to the British Museum, cost me my last threepence. On arrival, I went straight upstairs. The Egyptian exhibits weren't in one big room. They were a series of little ones that ran into each other. To my mind, it was the best bit of the whole museum. I loved the old, dark wood cabinets and the way the floor dipped and creaked when you walked. The blinds, always down at the windows, made a sort of all-day twilight. There were vases, statues called shabi for guarding dead bodies, swords, beads, even mummified pets. Everywhere you looked, something fascinating glinted back at you, like in Grandad's shop, only older and more beautiful.